Hi, this is probably the first of many times I'm going to try to do this. Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos. I'm going to post them on YouTube and see what happens. I'm going to be mostly talking about my favorite actor whose namesake's kind of at the title of this video, and hopefully a couple more like it. Yeah, it's hard to know where to start. I mean, the first movie I saw him in was Tropic Thunder, and I think I knew Ben Stiller, I knew Jack Black. I didn't really know him too well. The name seemed kind of familiar. I didn't know where I've heard it. And then I kind of figured that maybe it was because he was part of the Brat Pack, or at least an unofficial member of the Brat Pack. I'm a big fan of those movies in the 80s, or pretty much a lot of the stuff from the 80s, really. Yeah, and Tropic Thunder was kind of a different movie. It was interesting is a good word for it, but it was like so different. It was like so cool, like seeing it the first time. And then with him, it's like I kind of spotted that he could have gotten like an Oscar, or at least a nomination for what he did with that role, and sure enough he did. But hopefully a time will come where he will get a couple of awards I kind of think he deserves, maybe because he's just an actor I'm highly into right now. And yeah, after Tropic Thunder I saw him in Sherlock Holmes. I kind of wanted to see that because he was in it, just to see like what it was like, and I didn't think it was going to make this action-adventure type film, and it kind of surprised me in a few good ways and a few not, and it kind of took me a while to like kind of embrace that and get used to Guy Ritchie's version of it. And then later on I picked up the books and started reading them, and it's kind of interesting to see, like, once you get into them, like, yeah, there was a lot more action in there, and Watson had a bigger role than just being like a narrator. And like in Basil Rathbone versions, he's supposed to be like the comic foil for Sherlock. But yeah, Jude Law did a great version of him, where, like you said, they were like Butch and Sundance with like partners in crime, but they were on the, well, obviously they're on the other side of the law. So after that I saw Iron Man 2, which was like one of my favorite movies from 2010. I mean, not as many people were into it, maybe because they prefer more action to like going to psychology, and people were like, Tony Stark's got daddy issues, I'm not buying into that, I really don't care. It's like, that's the kind of stuff I'm into. I like seeing the psychology of characters like that in movies. And of course Due Date I ended up seeing mostly because of him, and then it was an interesting combination with him and Zach from The Hangover, and Todd Phillips directing. I mean, I probably wouldn't have seen that movie if he wasn't a part of it. But I didn't really know too much, and I kind of was thinking I really don't want to know too much about him, because I kind of had, I saw like maybe on like his profile, like on Internet Movie Database and Wikipedia and stuff, that he'd had issues like for quite a few years, and it was mostly about the acting for me. I didn't really want to think too much beyond that, and Less Than Zero kind of changed that. I mean, I wanted to see the movie because of Hazy Shade of Winter was like a really awesome Mangle song and a really awesome video that had all these scenes from the movie, and because of it I kind of wanted to see it. And it just so happened that he was in the movie, and it ended up becoming one of those times. I've had this a couple years where I would see something, or I would see a movie, and it would kind of impact me for anywhere between a couple months to, I don't know, a year and beyond that. And then with this case, it was like, this is it. It's like I had to find out more, because I mean, most people probably aren't going to take this point of view. I was kind of surprised with myself. After seeing the movie, I just kept thinking that Julian could have beaten the addiction. I really do believe that. I mean, he really looked like he was ready to like get clean after that really nasty withdrawal scene, but of course the drug dealer he was seeing just kind of roped him back into it, and I kind of blame him for like enabling him rather than like the addict. Most people blame the addict because they can't really get over the issues, but I kind of wanted to do the research just to make sure there wasn't like a close call like that where it almost beat him or he almost didn't make it. For some reason that was just got to be like so important. I had to find out, and it didn't look like it got to that point, but I finally like read through all this stuff I'd seen over the past year or so. I'd seen a couple of biographies of him, and they would go into rehab this, jail time that, getting arrested all those times. Like, yeah, sure, it's monotonous and it kind of felt like torture, but I just wanted to like move on and get over that, because most things I'm kind of more about the positivity and like seeing the bright side of stuff. And with him, I kind of want to focus on like his work since like for like the past 10 years or something. But yeah, after that I just researched all of his movies. I wanted to pick out the best ones, like the ones that got the best reviews, the most interesting storylines. I kind of wanted to see a little bit of everything that he can do, and obviously Chaplin was going to be the next one because it was another Oscar nomination. It was the first time like a lot of people kind of really took notice of him. Like they saw he could like headline a movie, and I think for the most part now it didn't get rave reviews from critics. I mean, it didn't really. It was. I think I read that it was kind of a bomb at the box office. Not a lot of people got into it, but they certainly got into him. But yeah, I saw that, and I've seen all kinds of movies, and interestingly, like there would be times where the opportunity presented itself, like certain movies like Charlie Bartlett, for example. Like I saw uploaded on YouTube, I saw maybe a scene from it that was kind of interesting. I figured, you know what the heck, I've got nothing to do on a weeknight, I might as well check into it. And it was like a huge surprise, like just seeing like a different sort of high school movie. Like that's just an example, but of like maybe a dozen movies I kind of wanted to see that it just exploded into like maybe 2 dozen movies I ended up seeing because he was a part of them, and I kind of wanted to see a little bit of like this and that. Yeah, but for the most part I do prefer like all the stuff he's done over the past 10 years, because that's truly where he like hit his stride, and he's doing amazingly right now. I hope he keeps doing that. So yeah, hopefully I'll do a couple more of these videos. I'll review some of my favorite of his movies. I mean, I'm going to start a movie blog pretty soon where I'm going to be like go through like maybe my top 100 favorite movies of all time, and I'm sure a couple of his will be part of that. And of course I'll have to talk about his album The Futurist, which is like really good. I mean, I can't even say it's like I always get into like songwriters like really going into like experiences, and like I don't know what it is about music. It just makes things, you kind of feel them with your heart instead of like just thinking about like how the words and the music comes together. So I guess I'll end this video. I know he, like a week ago, like he had an accident on the, well, not really an accident, he got hurt doing a stunt, filming Iron Man 3, and if he's lucky enough, or I'm lucky enough that he comes across this video, get well soon, Robert. Get back there as soon as you can, and hopefully don't try to do too much too fast. You're too good for that. So yeah.